Okay, so if I go back to time and when I was 21 years old, and I would like to meet Bilal and tell him what exactly are his options, what he did wrong, and what if he could have done better, because now I have some experience. So when you're just about to graduate, I'm hoping that most of you guys are in your early 20s and you're just about to graduate. What exactly I think are the options that you guys have? You can become an employee, find a job, and stick to it and get better at your job, I think. And then you can also consider pursuing your master's degree, and you can either become an entrepreneur, which is a very popular thing these days, and then you can also consider choosing freelancing, which is also very popular, as your full-time career. So I would go into detail that for each of these paths that Bilal could have taken, and how what could have made him successful, and what would be the best choice for them. So be an employee. So a lot of who the qualities that that should be in you to become an employee, and some traits that are necessary, that you should only choose this path, that you are someone who just wants to have a stable income, and you come from a background, because a lot of us, we come from families where our parents are getting paychecks on a monthly basis, and they're not business people, and they've not seen any month where they do not get paid. So they're used to it, and you get inspired from your parents, and you also want the same similar situation for yourself in your career, and you don't like taking risks, and your social life is very important, because if you have a 9 to 5 job, then you obviously are going to have some time that for yourself, for your social network, so where you can spend time. So if these things are very important to you, and you do not like taking this, then it can be choosing the path of becoming an employee would be the better choice for you. So how to find a job? I know that you all guys must know that you need a professional resume. But the specific thing that I would advise you guys, that you guys should have, or you guys should prepare your professional resume by 6th semester. Why I emphasize that is that because in order to get a good job, you need to go through this interview process. And if you choose to start practicing your interview skills after 8th semester, I think it's in my opinion, it's quite late. Interviews are cleared by confidence, and confidence is built up when you have gone through a lot of interviews. So when you have a resume prepared by 6th semester and you start applying by 7th semester, and I would recommend that you guys do start applying by 7th semester, then you will go through a lot of interviews, and over time your interview skills will get polished. But if you wait till 8th semester, and when I'll be done with my FIP, and I will have some time to chill after graduation, then it's already too late. I think the better way to go is that be prepared for your interviews beforehand, because you can also practice your interview skills by giving each other some interviews. This is the practice called peer interview practice. So you can discuss with your student fellows, and see how your interview skills can get better. Uh, you need by this time, by this 7th or 8th semester, I think that it is necessary that you choose a particular skill. Like if you want to go into web development domain, and React JS or Vue JS is very important, then you need to choose a specific skill, do some independent projects in it, so that your skill is polished by the time you give interviews. Then interviewers are going to see that you already have done some work independently, and you have better chance to landing a particular job. So reach out to people on LinkedIn. Basically, if you are just applying for a job, and just submitting a form, and just submitting your resume over an email to some person, and writing some cover letter, and thinking that that's it, I don't think that is the part where your application process should end. If you have applied for a particular job at a company, go to LinkedIn, search for that company. They probably must have their LinkedIn page, go to their people section and see how many people over there are, and how many people are there that, have mutual connections. If you have a mutual connection, ask your mutual connection to, refer you. If you do not, send the associated person that would be relevant to your department and a connect request and tell them. But when you do that, people see that the employer is going to see that you actually looked into our company, you actually saw what we are doing, and there is a better chance that he will consider you for the interview than for among so many piles of CVs that he is going to get. So reach out to people on LinkedIn. That's really going to help. Write a blog. I've specifically highlighted this in orange color because at the time we are when I was about to graduate, no one really told me about this because we are engineers mostly. I'm assuming that the audience we have are engineers and we do not have a marketing mindset. We've just focused on building up some skill. You do make up, you do choose a skill, but you also need to let people know. You need to let the world know that you've become good at this skill, and the best way to do this is by writing a blog or specifically starting your video tutorial channel on YouTube that people will know that this guy has this skill, and that way it's you get a better chance of landing an interview call. Then how to succeed in your job. So basically when you've decided to go this path, then I think that it's necessary that when you join a company that you set a goal for yourself that I've joined today, but in 5 years from now what exactly I want to become. You should not remain a developer for the rest of your life. In 5 years you should either become a tech lead or product development manager or a project manager. You need to grow in your career. So set a goal, and every day, whatever you do, you need to make sure that whatever you're doing, it's helping you learn to ultimately achieve your goal. Add value and show that you care. So basically, when you let's suppose that you joined a product development, a product-based software company, and you need to show that your employer that you actually are very concerned about the product that the company is developing. How you can show that? In one example would be that you can give an opinion that I think that this feature, if we roll out this particular feature in our software product, it's going to really help users solve this particular problem that they've been facing. So this, when you do this, you give your opinion to your employer. He's going to see that this guy is not just someone who just follows instructions, and he actually is caring about the company's product. So there's a better chance that he would see for the next promotion that he would be considering to bring someone on for. So take ownership of your work. When you've done a specific task has been assigned to you, you need to really take that task as your own. Even at sometimes for that particular feature that you have developed, a bug comes in, and your employer is very worried and he calls you at 10 at night. You make sure that you respond to him with respect and tell him that I will take care of that bug, so that he thinks that you're reliable. Do work hard as much as you can, right? And try to make your work exceptional. Your good work will speak for itself. If you have put in enough effort, it will ultimately speak for itself, and your employer will see, and the chances of you getting promoted would be much higher. Don't remain stuck in one role. As I've already mentioned, that you guys should have a goal. You should every day try to learn something new, so that you can ultimately change your role from a developer to a tech lead or a product manager. This advice that don't leave before 1 year, don't stay for more than 3 years, it was actually given to us by Aftab Maroof Saab. Aftab Maroof was the director of Islamabad campus at the time when we were in our final semesters, final 7th or 8th semester. He told us that do think a lot of time before accepting a job offer, and if you have accepted a job offer, then try not to leave before 1 year. And don't stay in the company for more than 3 years. I mean, it's not a hard and fast rule, but if you have joined a company and for some reason the culture is not suiting with your personality, then you can leave. But if things are going well, then just don't go for 5 to 10,000 increment that is being offered to you by another company. Don't leave this company for 1 year for just for small increments. But if you have an offer like from something like Google or something, then you should definitely consider that. And if you think that in 3 years, after spending 3 years in a company, maybe you're not growing as in your career, then you should I would advise that you should consider switching from that company. Then you can consider remaining a student and pursue your master's degree. I do not really recommend just after your graduation from your bachelor's degree that you go for this route. But if you're really interested in a research field or on a particular domain, and or either you want to consider academics as your career, then you should consider doing this. Otherwise, I would recommend that you do have take some industry experience, at least 1 to 2 years, and after that, you would be able to choose better that what master's degree would best suit to you for your career. So how to pursue for your masters? I think I've actually just considered doing masters at one point when my company was not doing so well. I thought maybe I should go abroad and do my masters. And from that experience, I'm just going to tell you guys what exactly are the steps that can help you in pursuing your masters. Basically, I attended an event in Serena Hotel, where a lot of universities from USA and their representatives were there on the stalls. They were, giving out the information, but that what courses that they are offering and how to get a scholarship and all that. So go try to attend these seminars so that you know which universities might be best suited for your particular course, and how that university can give you scholarship. I think that in past we are not हमें इस चीज की इतनी ज्यादा गाइडलाइन नहीं दी जाती, लेकिन ये कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स हैं जो कि अगर आप कंसिडर करें तो इट इज हाई चांस कि आप जो है उस फील्ड के अंदर अपनी मास्टर्स डिग्री को भी कर सकेंगे एंड यू वुड बी एबल टू गेट स्कॉलरशिप. Basically, if you have narrowed down the universities that where you want to go and narrowed down the specific field, you need to get in contact with the faculty members that are working over there, because most of these faculty members are doing research, and if you get in contact with them and you tell them that I've read your research paper and I am very interested and I'm also doing some independent work myself, then this faculty member will help you get a scholarship, get you on board, because he is ultimately going to hire you as a research assistant. When you are hired as a research assistant, your tuition fee already gets reduced, and you are also getting some stipend from the university. So आपको एक गाइडलाइन मिल जाती है, आपको एक तरीका मिल जाता है कि आप वहाँ पे अपने आप को सेल्फ सस्टेन भी कर सकें, and also you do your masters. You should practice writing good cover letters, and you should work on some independent projects so that you can tell your employer over there that I'm doing this work. He will see that actually he is interested in this field. And have your reference letter prepared beforehand, because this is what you're going to need from your teachers to in your university application process. So should I go for technical or business degree? If you ask specifically to me, I have done my technical degree in the CS. I would go for business. But if you want to consider technical degree, then this choice should be only if you're very much interested in a particular domain and you want to know more. Why I advise to go for a business degree, because at this point we all know that there are a lot of Udemy courses and certifications out there that can help you understand, give you a badge for that particular skill. तो बेहतर ये है कि आप अपने आप को बिजनेस स्किल्स के अंदर जो है ना नरिश करें, क्योंकि एज एन इंजीनियर business skills are not very good, our marketing, our sales skills are not very good, and they're very important skills. So you should consider, if you can, consider doing business degree. And obviously a lot of you in 5 years or 7 years from now, you're not going to like writing code, then it's better, it would be better, you would be able to see that business degree would be a better choice for you. So these are some advice for the students who want to pursue masters and be an entrepreneur. So who should become an entrepreneur. Basically, if you have observed that there is a specific problem in the market, and there is a need for that, and you have an idea that can fill that gap, and you're very passionate about that idea, then you should consider becoming an entrepreneur. It's very important for an entrepreneur to have a professional network, because ultimately you're going to come to the point where you are going to require fundraising, and you would want to hook up with people in other industries. So a professional network is very important for you to become an entrepreneur. You think that you are a risk taker, and I would recommend that you should have at least 1 year of industry experience. But if you really want to go for entrepreneurship, then at least have an internship experience somewhere, so that you know the processes. It's because you're going to be running the company. You need to know certain things, that how a company can be run. And you're a hustler. Basically, you really work hard to achieve your goals. And if these are the traits that you're in that are presently in you, then you can consider becoming an entrepreneur. So when to start your business? Basically, right now your pressure enduring threshold would be limited to कि यार मेरा FIP का प्रोजेक्ट नहीं हुआ यार, मेरी असाइनमेंट नहीं हुई, वो मेरे टीचर जो है मुझसे नाराज हो जाएंगे. अभी आप लोगों के जो है कि कहते हैं ये प्रेशर आप लोगों के ऊपर भी इस टाइम पे पड़ रहा है. लेकिन जब आप प्रोफेशनल नेटवर्क के अंदर जाके अपना प्रोफेशनल जिंदगी में जाते हैं, प्रोफेशनल करियर में जाते हैं, तो आपको काफी सारा काम करते हैं और आपका प्रेशर थ्रेशोल्ड बढ़ता है. So I think it's very important that you have a reasonable threshold for pressure, enduring the pressure, because when you're going to become an entrepreneur, you're not just going to be responsible for yourself. You're going to be responsible for the client to whom you're offering your product or service, and you're going to be responsible for your company employees to whom you are going to pay the salaries. If you do not have that, the pressure tolerating threshold in you, then what is going to happen is कि थोड़े अरसे में आप डिमोटिवेट हो जाएंगे, और आप जो है कि कहते हैं eventually will give up on your dream very quickly. So that's very important. And ये चीज तभी अटेन हो सकती है जब आपने इंडस्ट्री में 1-2 साल गुजारे हो, आपको पता लग जाता है कि यार कि मैंने इस बॉस के साथ जब डील करना है, then how much pressure I can take. So this is important in my opinion. So your network is good. आपका network बहुत ज़्यादा important है. Your net worth is your net worth. This is a quotation that you might find over the internet, and it's very important. आपको relationship बनाने होते हैं अपनी journey में, किसी भी career में, even अगर आपने job भी करनी है, तो it's very important कि आप जो है ना अपना एक अच्छा नेटवर्क बना के रखें. अगर आपका नेटवर्क ऑलरेडी है, you are someone who has been doing in some sort of public speaking already, and you have a good social network, and you think यार कि मैं without going for a job I can become an entrepreneur, then you should consider this path. What can you expect? A lot of failures. 90% of the time, startups fail, and you should expect that you're going to fail as well. And you also can expect that you might not have too much money in your account initially, because you need to stick to this particular idea that you're going to work, and it's going to take time to come into a physical form, and people to take it, to adopt it. However, it's a very thrilling experience. It's a roller coaster. Some days you would be so depressed that you would not want to get out of your bed. But at other times, you are going to be so excited that you might not be even able to sleep at night with the excitement. But eventually, if you stick to your goal, if you stick to the idea, then and if you stick to the path कि जी मैंने अब बस करना ही अपना business है, ठीक है, then eventually you will lead to success, and you will reach to the point where you will see that sky is the limit for my further success. How to be successful? Actually, I'm myself learning to become a successful entrepreneur, but I've realized that there is no particular key. However, just set a goal and focus. Just don't focus on the goal. Focus on the path that is going to lead to that goal. Basically, make a plan, and every day see that how your plan is going on, and that can really help you achieve the goal. Establish resilience. Basically, as I've said that you guys are going to face a lot of failures, and you guys is going to be depressed a lot of times. So it's important that you have resilience every day. Whenever you are facing a failure, you're able to pick yourself up and get yourself back on track. So this is a very important trait to become successful in your entrepreneurship journey. Don't focus on the money that I'm going to create an app and this is going to just get generate this much of revenue. Try to focus on the value that is your product or your service is offering, so that and eventually money will follow. When you are an entrepreneur and you're trying to consider building a product, don't build the product that you think there is a need. Try to research and see that there is an actual need in the market for this particular product or not, and build those products. Don't just build products that you think there is a need, but there is no actual need for that. All right, so that's all I could tell you guys about being an entrepreneur and be a self-employed freelancer. Freelancing is very popular these days since remote working culture has been, adopted by the industry. So it has also become a career choice. So you should become a freelancer if you have a specific skill and you're good at it, and you've actually started working as a freelancer from fifth or sixth semester. It's very important that you are able to speak and write good English. It's it should be like your mother's tongue, because developer की skill कोई भी attain कर सकता है, ठीक है. Successful वही होता है who is able to communicate the solution of the problem to your client easily. And if your client is going to be comfortable with you only when you are good at speaking English. English, I'm assuming that is the most common language being spoken internationally. So you need to project exceptional level of professionalism in your as a freelancer, and ये चीज एक आप लोगों के अंदर तभी आएगी जब आपके पास कुछ इंडस्ट्री एक्सपीरियंस हो. अगर आपके पास कोई एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है किसी इंडस्ट्री में काम करने का, आपको डॉक्यूमेंटेशन इतनी अच्छी लिखने नहीं आती, आपको ईमेल इतनी अच्छी लिखने नहीं आती, ठीक है, so you would not be able to project that professionalism. That can only be attained when you have worked in the industry. So I recommend going and choosing this path after 2 years of at least 1 or 2 years of spending some time. You're going to have to accept the fact that you are okay to sleep at night, because most of your clients are going to be from USA or other countries, and you have to adopt your sleep patterns to the time zone that fits into their needs. So when to choose a freelancer, to become a freelancer, basically I've already spoken about this. At least I think that it's important that you have 1 to 2 years of experience, so that you are groomed, you can project professionalism. When you and that can be only done if you have some experience in the industry. What to expect? There are going to be months or weeks that you might not have any work at all, and then there are going to be days that because I've done my fair share of freelancing, and I still do, and I still face this problem. That there are times that you're going to have so much work that 24 hours will be less. You would not even have time to sleep. But it's going to be good income. You're going to be earning in USD. Then better. It will be better than your other fellows who are working on a 9-to-5 job. If you're consistent with this, obviously. How to be successful? Basically, discipline is very important, because when you're self-employed, then and you are given a task and there is no boss to tell you when to do this task, then there is a high chance that you're going to watch a movie and you tell yourself that I'll do this task in 2 hours from now, 3 hours from now, and you will eventually make this as a habit, and you won't be able to succeed in your freelancing business, because you have to clear one project and move to the next. And if you're not disciplined, you won't be able to do that. Make multiple sales streams. Do not just go for a single account on, Upwork or Freelancer. Try to make multiple streams, and you can make them by writing blogs and remaining active on LinkedIn. Sell yourself without selling. Basically, this particular point is related to writing proposals. When you write a proposal, you need to not just mention that this is particular skill set. You need to try to show your client that to whom you're writing the proposal to that you actually have a solution for the problem, and mention some points so that he can see that this guy actually knows what my problem is, and he can give me a solution. So that way you sell yourself without selling yourself. So make a brand of yourself, write a blog, market yourself, and when the service that you're offering, write more and more about it so that people when search something related to that service, your name pops up. And adopt strong work ethics. I will be very honest to you. I'm not the most intelligent person in the room, but I've been a very successful freelancer, and that's only because I have very strong work ethics. I take ownership of the work, and clients really like the professionalism that I project. So that can only be you can have this project these impressions only when you have a good working ethics that you can adopt. So yeah, I think these are the four paths that I would tell Bilal that he can choose for himself, and how to do good at one particular path or not. So the path I chose, basically became an employee. I basically initially wanted to join Microsoft because a lot of my seniors were getting offers from there, and I thought that would be something that I would want to do. But however, I was not able to get even an interview at Microsoft. So I became an employee, and I always had in my mind that I do want to end up doing my own business. And the industry experience, really groomed myself. It was, I was able to get a very good professional network, and it really helped me in my business because, I was working at Telenor Global and Mobiling and other companies. Then these colleagues, they went abroad and they were doing their own jobs. But when I wanted to do my business, they became a source of sales stream for me because I was able to tell them that this is the service that I am offering, and if you guys can help me get a project, I would be very grateful. And they did give me some sales. So professional network was very important, and then after spending some time in the industry, I thought to become an entrepreneur. I started my first software product-based company. It was VTag. I started it with a group of friends, and it was not a success. So I really wanted to stick to my decision of remaining in the business. So I became a freelancer initially to become self-employed, and then I was very successful. I was able to start my own company, but I'm still trying to find my key to success. So this is the path I choose, and I think all the dots in my past, they have connected in a way that I could have not expected. ये सारी चीजें अगर इस तरीके से ना होती तो आज मैं इतना सक्सेसफुल नहीं होता. अगर मैं शुरू से ही फ्रीलांसिंग स्टार्ट कर देता तो मैं कभी भी अपने क्लाइंट के साथ में उस तरीके से प्रोफेशनलिज्म को प्रोजेक्ट ना कर पाता. So anyhow, I'm glad that I chose this path and it has worked out very well for me. And I would recommend, if you want to do your business, try to first find a job, groom yourself, get to make a good professional network, and then consider doing your business. So these are all this is the advice that I would like that you guys to have as a human. Basically, I was a very impatient person at 21 years old. I was always, asking myself, why is this not happening right now? I should have been more patient. And if you guys are not, I think that it's important that you guys do become patient. Things will eventually work out. Patience is a trait जो कि overnight नहीं आती. You need to practice patience every day. You need to ask Allah in your prayers, in your du'as, that you are able to practice patience in a more better way. Have faith in yourself and trust Allah's plan. When I became an entrepreneur and started my own company, a lot of times I doubted myself and doubted that I do not have the skill set that ये चीजें हो जाएंगी. Things will eventually work out. Allah Ta'ala has a plan for you. और देखें कि कहते हैं, अगर आप जब भी मुश्किल में आते हैं, आप एक चीज अपने आप को बताया करें कि अगर आप अपनी प्रॉब्लम लेके अपनी अम्मी के पास चले जाएं, ठीक है, जो कि आपको बहुत प्यार करती हैं, वो आप उनको प्रॉब्लम बताएंगे तो वो अपनी पूरी एनर्जी लगाएंगी. वो कहेंगे किसी भी तरीके से मैं अपने इस बच्चे को जो है ना कि कहते हैं इस प्रॉब्लम से निकालूं. ठीक है, So Allah Ta'ala is a divine entity who loves you 70 times more than your mother. When you go to your Allah Ta'ala with your specific problem, then He is going to solve it for you. He's going to give you a better solution ultimately. So trust in Allah's plan. Things are going to work out. Uh, ये चीज इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अगर आप लोगों में से कुछ लोग शायद ऐसे होंगे एंड इट्स और अगर कोई गलत बात नहीं है अगर आप लोग इस तरह हैं, लेकिन आप लोग इस तरह सोचते हैं यार कि मैं अगर जॉब के लिए अप्लाई कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है, आई शुड नॉट टेल एनीवन एल्स कि यार किसी और को पता लगे कि यार ये इस जॉब के लिए आप अप्लाई कर दो ताकि मेरा ही चांस बने. ऐसे नहीं होता. आप वट एवर अल्लाह ताला हैज डिसाइडेड फॉर यू, वट एवर द अमाउंट ऑफ रिस्क दैट अल्लाह ताला हैज डिसाइडेड फॉर यू, वो आपको मिलना ही मिलना है. अगर आपकी रोजी रोटी एक स्पेसिफिक कंपनी के थ्रू लगनी है तो आपकी उधर ही लगनी है. उसके लिए आप जो मर्जी कोशिश कर लें किसी और कंपनी में, आपने उधर ही एंड अप होना है. ठीक है. और किसी और बंदे को जिसको आपने नहीं बताया, वो आप अगर आप उसको नहीं बताएंगे तो वो किसी और राउट से वहां पे अल्लाह ताला उसको पहुंचा देगा. तो ट्राई टू हेल्प अदर्स, ट्राई टू हेल्प योर पीयर्स, पुट द एनर्जी आउट. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर इट विल कम बैक विद द ग्रेटर इम्पैक्ट. आप किसी की हेल्प करेंगे, इवेंचुअली कोई ना कोई आपको जो है ना ये आपको इनडायरेक्ट बेनिफिट आपको लेटर ऑन लाइफ मिलेगा. ठीक है. अब आई वुड रिकमेंड कि आप हमेशा यू शुड बी रेडी एंड योर सबकॉन्शियस माइंड शुड बी ट्रेन्ड इन अ वे दैट यू शुड ऑलवेज बी रेडी कि if someone is in a problem, you are able to offer help. So these are some of the human traits that I would recommend that you guys have. They're also going to help you in your professional career as well. So I think this is all the advice that I could give you guys, and I hope that you guys have been able to benefit through this. And if you guys have any question, I would be more than happy to entertain them.
So the mic is open for any questions. If you have to ask any questions, please go on.
I think everyone knows a lot. ज़्यादा कोई questions नहीं है. Anyone?
So does anyone have any questions? If not, maybe I should conclude the meeting.
Telling the If no one has question, you guys have my email address. Yeah, if you don't, you can ask Sitan, and if you need any advice, I would be more than happy to answer to your query. I'm very grateful to you, Sitan, and everyone for listening to me, and I hope that this presentation has been something that can give you a good boost in your career. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bilal. It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you, Assalamualaikum.
Okay, I've taken the attendance. Everyone can leave now.
अटेंडेंस हो गई है यार. अटेंडेंस हो गई है?